Well, hi everyone. Let's get straight to the talk, shall we? Well, what do you think when you think of a blank piece of paper? Such a weird question, right? Maybe it's white, maybe it's blank, maybe you can write something on it. But have you ever thought of what that blank piece of paper could give you in terms of ideas, in terms of lesson? What can a blank piece of paper teach you? Here's what I've learned from it. Well, firstly, you could fold a paper airplane from that blank piece of paper. When you launch a paper airplane, it will go up, right? But then it will go down as well. It cannot fly forever. Just like that, it falls down and it goes up and it goes down. But we expect students to always study more and more. We expect them to get the highest mark in their class, the highest in the school. We expect them to go to national competition, to international one. As a student, I'm always expected to learn more and more. I'm expected to get higher marks. I'm expected to learn not stop because that's society expectation, right? We have expect that growth, we should always grow. That growth is the norm and not growing is a deviation. We are accustomed to limitless growth. Yet, just like the earth, which has a limited amount of resource, we have also a limited amount of resource. We have a limited amount of efforts that can be used, and when it's used, well, sometimes in life, you cannot always just go up. You have to go down a little bit. You have to face setbacks. You have to face mistakes. Just like that paper airplane, if we don't expect the paper airplane to fly forever, to always go up, then why should we expect ourselves to always go up, to always go further? Why do we expect everyone else around us to do so? I think we should be more like that paper airplane, that we cannot grow forever, that sometimes life just has ups and downs, and we have to accept that. That's the first lesson from that blank piece of paper. Well, let's go back to that blank piece of paper then. What do you see on it? I would say nothing, right? And you probably agree with me. There's nothing on that blank piece of paper. Yet, I would say that that nothingness is actually something. Well, what does that mean, right? Well, firstly, I think we should recognize that society as a whole value having something. We value having fulfilled something. We value efforts being put in. We value, for example, people having money. We value people having achievements. We value people having food on the table, for example. We often don't talk about people who don't have something. As a society, we value somethingness. We look for something. Yet, look at this piece of a website. It's surely filled with something. It's surely filled with a lot of things. But you can hardly make out any information from it. And so I think that's why blank space is important. Blank spaces allows us to give meaning to the things in your life. Just like that website. If we have blank spaces on that website, for example, then you will surely be able to make out information much better. You will surely be able to, at a glance, get the information you want on the website. Just like the website, just like that. That's the power of a blank space. Similarly, in your life, you cannot expect yourself to always have a full cup of water. You cannot expect yourself to fill every part of your schedule, every part of your day-to-day schedule with something to do. Because it's just humanly impossible to do so. To do everything day by day, day after day. And so I think we should learn from that blank piece of paper. The blank spaces on the blank piece of paper allows you to recoup strength, allows you to have time to reflect on yourself. It allows you to fill another part of your life much more satisfactorily. That's the power of the blank spaces. That's the power of blank piece of paper. That's the second lesson I've learned. Well, last lesson. Well, I've learned. Look at this. What do you feel when you look at the blank piece of paper? Well, you wouldn't expect for me to say that it's fear, right? You wouldn't fear a blank piece of paper. Yet, imagine this scenario. It's the night before your literature deadline. You're looking at that same blank piece of paper. You have nothing to write on it. You cannot think of anything to write on it. Suddenly, that blank piece of paper seems much more scary, much more fearful, right? So, why are we scared of that blank piece of paper? Why do we find it so difficult to put the first words on it? I think it's because we value perfection. We expect perfection from ourselves. It's, it's often that you see the end result of things. It's not often that you see people creating it. You often see the end novel. You often see the artwork. You don't often see people painting them, people writing them. And because of that, we have come to expect that level of perfection in everything we do. Because of that, we find it so difficult to put the first words on the blank piece of paper because we expect perfection from ourselves. Yet, creating is not a process towards perfection. It's a process of experimenting and discovering. You don't have to have a perfect intro to begin your essay. You don't have to have a perfect idea to begin your project. Just like that, it's not a process of perfection. So you should anticipate flaws. You should anticipate mistakes. It's a process of going through mistakes. And because of that, I think we should be less fearful of the blank piece of paper. We shouldn't always expect ourselves to write something perfect on the first try. Now, when you think of that blank piece of paper at the deadlines looming, think to yourself this: the blank piece of paper, the first few words you put on there, are often not that consequential. What's more important is that you have started. Once you have started, the momentum will carry on much easier. That's the last lesson I've learned from that blank piece of paper. The blank piece of paper has taken us so far to today, as it allows us to spread knowledge, to record history. Even that tiny little blank piece of paper holds so much power in it. So appreciate things. Appreciate the small things in your life. Even that small blank piece of paper has ideas worth sharing. That's the power of the blank piece of paper. And that's what I've learned from it. Thank you.